that moment of being overcome, helped me to be open to something new. Welcome to Intersect. Perfect California weather. Oh, it was so nice. The sun was shining, and we were in our back room. If you get this church, we have to go. And I immediately regretted it. Because she said, it's in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I had this like roller coaster of emotions up and down, and I was depressed and I was angsty. And I looked over at the St. Bernard Soap Company. Do you all know that factory? It is not a beautiful factory. But in that moment, it was so strikingly beautiful to me. And I just had this feeling that I don't think was from me, that I really do love this city. And that there are beautiful things here if I'm just willing to be open enough to discover them.
You see me here with all my fears inside, like depths of
I was born in Hawaii. I grew up in Seattle, Washington, and moving here was a culture shock, and it was a lot of depression for the first couple years till you find your way of finding the right communities, right, where you belong. And it's, as an Asian American woman, it's hard to do that in the Midwest. It looks effortless to be a musician when you've done it. But the thing is it's because we've done it for a long time. When I mean done it for a long time, I mean we've failed a lot of times. We've faced the fears over and over.
I started learning the saxophone in the 6th grade, and I kept blowing on that mouthpiece of the saxophone for a week, trying to make a sound on it. And when I made that first honking sound, I'm sure my parents were glad that they weren't there, because it sounded like the worst goose noise or whatever. But for me, that I felt so powerful, you know. Well, that's about where I am.
We'd sit in the back, and what we would do, this is a very spiritual thing we would do, we would take the hymnal and we would flip through it, trying to find titles of songs that we could turn into sexual double entendres. Like, what if Jesus really does want you to feed poor people, hungry people? And what if there really wasn't a guy who built a boat that carried every species that ever existed? That even though I'm very, very skeptical still, even though I tell Robert I don't believe half the things he says, I know I'm in a place where there's community. I know I'm in a place where there's love, and that's where it all began.
I came up with the chorus first, sitting near some big rocks along Lake Erie. I'm really proud of it because other people like it and I can't figure out why. So there's something magical going on.
I don't really mind. I will stay up till the days change.
In building a community, you share the ups and downs and the frustrations of making art. And I came up with these abstract lyrics about someone stole the cab and you left your friends in the rain and it's wet, but we're gonna dance far away from you. And I took all these little pieces and made something abstract that can be about overcoming anything and about something bigger than yourself. And I'm talking, of course, about Lake Erie. So here's Days Change.
I will stay up till the day